It's time to discuss the fourth film I saw at this year's Melbourne International Film Festival, one that I was hoping would be a very underrated flick at this year's fest. Very indie animated film called Sanatorium Under the Sign of the Hourglass. I've got a couple of thoughts about this one, and let's dive into this one right now. So this film is directed by the Key brothers, who I've never really seen a film from them before. They're very big in the art house space in terms of real underground stop motion animation. And they're both identical twins, which is a little bit of a fun fact about them. And this is their first film in 30 years. The film is an adaptation of a novel, and the film seems to represent a lot about loss and trying to move on from losing a parental figure. At least that's what I can surmise from watching this film, because unfortunately, I think this film was pretty awful and a real test of my patience. I think the film feels like a proof of concept in terms of its narrative, because it is stitched together in such a fashion that is so unbelievably frustrating that I had an awful time with this movie, and I considered walking out of it. I think it was that bad, and there were many in this screening that left this movie. Maybe some of the most walkouts I've seen at a film festival screening, especially at MIFF so far. It was just ridiculous. The amount of things that is just so wrong with this movie is unbelievable. Like the fact that trying to surmise what this film is about and the director's intention is so unclear, and almost purposefully so, that it just doesn't work at all. It completely fails and feels like an amateur production with someone who has so many ideas but can't put any of them together in a cohesive fashion, because this film is just so boring and mumbled that it doesn't make any clear point. It just feels like pretentious slop that I'm sure some hipsters will absolutely adore, but fuck me, I hated watching this. The only positive thing that I can say about this movie is I think the animation itself looks outstanding. The use of this dark stop motion animation, evoking something like Tim Burton, but pushing that even further, was very interesting, and at times this movie can visually look quite great. Like the couple of shots this film has of a train going through a landscape or something like that. The use of these detailed sets, I absolutely love. That type of animation fascinates me, and I love seeing it play out on the big screen. I've visited and seen a few of these stop motion sets, like when I went to the Academy Museum and saw Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio set. Just things like that, and how small they are and the way they're crafted. I love that, and it's something I'm passionate about seeing. And you see that come through in this film, and yes, that is the biggest positive this has going for it. But apart from how it looks aesthetically, the film is a complete mess. It looks like and feels like the type of thing that you would see playing in a museum in one of those closed little theater rooms that just plays something on loop over and over for 10 or 15 minutes. That's what it feels like, but dragged out to 70 minutes. That's a short runtime for a film, but this film felt like double that. There is some of the worst editing I've seen in a movie in quite some time, with this stylistic choice to repeat the same shot over and over and over again, probably 7-8 times. Someone dropping their hat, or someone looking at the camera menacingly, or someone putting on and taking off shoes. It plays over and over and over and over again. And it's like, we get the point, move on. And it felt like an artificial way of lengthening this film, and was just a garbage stylistic choice. It served no purpose at all. And whatever purpose it may serve, you still could have cut that down and make it work and be even more effective. But sometimes it felt like it would play to the point where it felt like it was purposefully testing the audience's patience. And I got sick of seeing it. It happened 4 or 5 times. And I was like, really? They're doing this again? Okay. Like, have you got anything else in your pocket? No, not really. This film fails to surprise me. And at first I thought, okay, this is kind of a unique way of approaching a film. and felt kind of interesting, and I was willing to see where it would go and meet it on its terms. But once you get deep enough in this movie, you feel like it just has nothing to offer. And by the end of it, I just felt completely underwhelmed, and like I just didn't get anything out of that at all. I mean, for fuck's sake, there's like a shot of a lady putting a rubber band around her knee and staring at the camera for 5 minutes. It's that kind of shit. And it's like, to me, this is like, so I'm 14, this is deep, it's unreal. Like, this isn't real filmmaking or a way to approach those kinds of emotions. I think it failed on all fronts, and I don't know how someone could enjoy this movie. It was complete shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was bored, I was frustrated, and I did not get anything out of this. It was an empty, hollow movie to me. Sanatorium Under the Sign of the Hourglass is just a failure on all fronts. I do not enjoy this movie, and I don't recommend it. And as a score, I'm going to give this one a 1 out of 5, and I'm very bitterly disappointed by this movie. Hoping to see a few more better films come out of MIFF, because that's 2 in a row that I didn't quite enjoy after getting off to a really excellent start. But we'll see. I think I've got some great movies lined up in the future over the next couple of weeks. But let's hope that this is as bad as it gets, because I don't know how much worse you can get than this. And those are my thoughts towards Sanatorium Under the Sign of the Hourglass. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I don't think many of you will probably see this movie anyway, but yeah, it's not worth it if you do stumble upon it. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.